Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at some Nissan Silvias. In particular, we're going to be looking at the Mini GT Nissan Silvia Rocket Bunny. This is the S15. And we're going to look at the Tarmac Works S14 Vertex. And we're going to do a head-to-head comparison so you can get a good understanding for yourselves which manufacturer of 1-64 premium diecast cars is better. And we've also got two Hot Wheels premium S15 Nissan Silvias for our baseline comparison. So we've got, this is from the Forza series, and then this is the HKS. This was part of the Team Transport release. I think this is actually quite a really nice casting from Hot Wheels. And the best thing that Hot Wheels does with the Silvias is actually include side mirrors. Which I think every premium casting should have. So yeah, this is it's a great casting. But then again, this also highlights one of the issues that I actually have with collecting diecasts is that these are identical. The only difference is the color of the paint job and the tampos that have been used. But anyway, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to look and compare two different manufacturers of premium diecast models of Mini GT and Tarmac Works. So let's get underway. All right, we'll start off with the Tarmac Works model. You can actually see it. Let's open it up so we can take a closer look, and then we can start assessing it in terms of attention to detail, its build durability, its playability, and its overall froth factor. So, taking a closer look, we can see that the Tarmac Works model has inset perspex headlights, which is definitely a great indication of premium. Comparing that to the Hot Wheels counterpart, which is a tampo, which is stuck in, which definitely sets these two castings a world apart just to start with. And that front grille looks great. There is some excellent detail in there. And even to the exposed radiator, there's some nice chrome work that you can see in the front of the model. Coming around and having a look at these rims, wow, these wheels, they're great wheels, aren't they? There's excellent detail. I love the gold inner, then we've got the chrome outer rim, and then the rubber tire itself. That looks phenomenal. It looks really good. I've done well with these wheels. And then get in here a bit closer. You can actually see there are some tampos here on the lower side of the car. So these are the racing tampos with the Vertex logo obviously on the windshield. And I think that looks really nice. And I am a big fan of actually having like the racing brands on the windshield of the car. I just think it looks really cool. And so there's the HKS one from Hot Wheels. And I suppose there's already an indication, and we'll see it a bit better when we open up the Mini GT, is the actual difference between the body of the S14 and the S15s. And that was really the main change that actually happened. The S14 is actually a slightly larger car than what the S15 is. The S15 is a bit more compact. However, there were some more performance levels that were actually brought into the S15. But this F14, look, I think it looks great. And this was one of the big things that set it apart was actually the taillight integration that you can see around the back here. Into the actual chassis of the car, or the body of the car. And that is just one of the big points of difference that actually made this car stand out on the road, was just those rear taillights and that accentuated bumper that you can actually see there if I hold the car on the side. And then just quickly throwing it up against the S15, that the taillights are only in the end quarters of the back of the car, and that bumper isn't as pronounced. But diving back into this model, You can see, look at that chrome exhaust. That's a great little bit of detail from Tarmac Works. That looks amazing. Other manufacturers do it, so it's obviously not unique, but it is definitely a nice little touch for this model, and it actually looks really nice. And oh, there we go. That is, if you can see that, we've got a rear windshield wiper on the rear windshield, which, when we're talking about a score for attention to detail, that is really going to pick you up with some extra points there, because now we're talking side mirrors. We've got side mirrors, but now, and then also on the front, if you can see there, we actually have windscreen wiper blades. Well, that is incredible. And even the little water jets on the bonnet that fire up the water to clean the windshield. That is an exquisite piece of additional detail, which will be interesting to have a look at the Mini GT to see if that goes to that level, which I have a feeling that could be the piece that actually sets these two models apart when we're looking at the attention to detail. Trying to come into the cockpit here, I do like these are quite big rear and front windshields and even side windows that you can actually see right in there quite nicely. And in terms of the detail of the plastic work in there, you can see the dash. We get the light just right, and the steering wheel, and even the indicator arms, as well as the gear knob. And that is excellent detail that these guys have done. I mean, it's hard enough to actually see that through here, even despite these big windows. But I mean, the only way to really enjoy that is to actually open the car up altogether. But I think that, from in terms of attention to detail, is next level. Let's have a look at the underside. So with all Tarmac Works, we get their Tarmac Works stamp on it, which is not too dissimilar to everyone. You need to know what type of model car that you've got. And then there's actually quite a nice bit of detail here in the undercarriage of the car. And importantly, I think it gives us the scale, the Vertex S14 Silvia. So it tells us what model this is. So if anyone that wants to pick this up, they can actually look at it and then they can understand exactly what car it is, which not all diecast manufacturers do that, which I think is quite disappointing when they don't have that there. But yeah, so anyway, I mean, straight off the bat, attention to detail, Tarmac Works have done very well with this casting. And I can't score it anything else but 5 out of 5. Look at that. That is great. Okay, there we go. The S14 from Tarmac Works. Let's pop it alongside the S15 from Hot Wheels here. Then let's open up the Mini GT S15. That's the Rocket Bunny. So it's got a Rocket Bunny body kit on it, which you can also see from that the box artwork there that this is going to be a nice little casting that will be quite a nice one to enjoy. So let's open it up. Let's get it out of the box. Here we go. As all good diecast should be, out of the box. Wow, there we go. Look at that. So straight away I can see there are some more accentuated side mirrors on this casting just as we take it out. And then obviously the things that will set it apart are going to be the body kit, which is a bit more detail than what we've got from the Tarmac Works option. So you can actually see I'm a big fan of side mirrors on castings. Wow, and they're solid. There's some great side mirrors. Look at that. You're not missing those. So there you go. Well done, Mini GT, for getting that detail right. So similar to the Tarmac Works, we have inserted Perspex headlights, which is definitely that level of premium. Then we've got the G-Ready logo there on that front grille, and just the tampos here are just so clean and crisp and clear, very easy to read and understand. And then take a look at these wheels. We've got the 4-spoke chrome rims, and in real life is probably 19-20 inches. But then the tire itself, there you go. There's actually grip. These aren't slicks on this casting. You can see that it's a bit more compact straight off the bat from the S14, which is what we brought up. But then just the comparison between your Hot Wheels and your Mini GT, you can see that level of detail. Like, we can look at the front. We can look at the fronts of these, and we can just see that bit of extra detail from Mini GT just goes a long way. Both have the side mirrors, so can't fault Hot Wheels on that, as I said before. And then having a look at these castings side by side, we can measure these in a bit, but yeah, you can see the Hot Wheels is actually a bit bigger than the Mini GT itself, and that lends itself to Hot Wheels being a bit loose in terms of the 1:64 scale, whereas Mini GT spot on. But let's check out this a little bit more. Look at that Rocket Bunny logo, that looks great. These wheels feel awesome. I think the playability of this is going to be good. Oh, and look, there we go. We have windscreen wipers on the Mini GT model as well. So they can't fault that. And then also the windscreen water, the water jets. So, I mean, that is comparable from Tarmac Works and Mini GT. It's like they were using each other's cheat notes. And then so there's the rear skirting of the car here actually feels like it's made from, I think that's a plastic addition, but it feels like it's like a carbon fiber add-on actually. It looks great. And that rear, so while the separated, not the fully integrated taillights there, I do prefer that from the S14 or over the S15. But that rear with this Rocket Bunny body kit is excellent. Let's have a look at that exhaust system. Okay, so we've got a chrome exhaust in here under a lot of that extra fine detail, which even on the HKS model from Hot Wheels, well, as we know, it's the same as the Forza one because they just changed the paint on these. At least with your Mini GT, they've got a few Silvias that are going around, but they've got different body kits on them. Whereas Hot Wheels would be same casting every time. Anyway. Now let's flip over to the underside, and then look, we've also got incredible detail here as well. And then we've even got the year model of this S15, 2002. And that is actually a bit more detail here on this Mini GT casting than we do on the Tarmac Works. Yeah, look at that, there's even a fair bit more. So I've already given the Tarmac Works 5 out of 5. So going to give these guys 5.5 out of 5 for that little bit extra, because it's certainly there. And this build quality just seems excellent. So let's talk about that now. So it's always a thing when you're talking about premium die casts is what is the build quality of these? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to keep these on a shelf, okay, that's great. But I think you want to be able to have them on your tabletop and play with them a bit. Yes, sure, look at them, but you want to be able to have a bit of playability, move it around, roll the castings around, and have a bit of fun with it. Now, the Hot Wheels is definitely, and can't argue, the benchmark when it comes to playability. Just the way they've built these cars very solidly. I mean, they're nice and weighty. We've got the full metal construction in the premium models, and they roll around really well. So in terms of playability, Hot Wheels we do see as the benchmark or the one to beat. Hand in hand, looking at both of these models, in terms of like feel or ruggedness, I would have to say the Mini GT feels a little bit more rugged than the Tarmac Works one. And part of that indication, I think, might just be to the axle and the wheel system that Tarmac Works is using here. These feel a bit lighter. You can shake it. There's a bit of a rattle, which, you know, on some of the other Mini GTs that I have noticed that before. It's not a be all and end all. You just got it. There's a bit of extra noise, I suppose, when it comes to that playability, as you can see there. But it is still fairly durable. However, I do have to say that this Mini GT casting, this one in particular, is just that much more durable than the Tarmac Works ones. The wheels just feel like they're held in. They're just a bit better. There's less rattle. There's a bit of a rattle. You know, do the Hot Wheels so you can see. There's a little bit of a rattle, but there's not much. But actually, I think that rattle's all coming from the rear wing. So if I hold that down, oh no, there's still a bit of a rattle. Let's try this one. Less rattle on the HKS. So yeah, so the Hot Wheels is very solid. It's all tightly bound in there and all welded together. But that Mini GT, I would say, just has it over in terms of durability. And then I think things like the front bumpers and the fenders and the body kit have actually really helped this S15 casting just be a bit more durable than the S14. But then yeah, I can't fault that. I mean, in terms of durability, if you're rating the Hot Wheels as the benchmark and that's 5 out of 5, that means automatically the Mini GT needs to just be a bit down from that. It's not a lot. It's actually not far off. So I think that's 4.5. Normally I'd give, like, in terms of durability, I'd be talking about a Mini GT like being a good point off Hot Wheels. But I think right now with this particular one, that's a solid build. So I'd give that 4.5 out of 5. And then I'd say the Tarmac Works is on par with other premium manufacturers that I've used. There's a slight rattle in the wheels, but they roll quite well. So I'd give that for durability. Let's give that a 4 out of 5. And then while we're here, let's move straight on to playability. So also, again, as I was mentioning, the Hot Wheels are very durable, and because of that, they're also very playable. And so when you're playing with them, rolling them along, they roll very well. And obviously the main lines are designed to go down orange tracks and things like that and be thrown all the way across the road. So that's where they get quite good pedigree from. So looking at the playability of these two, now I've been playing with these for quite a while, ever since we've started talking in this video, and there's nothing that I can actually fault in these in terms of playability. Yes, there's a slight bit of noise from this Tarmac Works model, but I don't think that is the end of the world. And then this Mini GT S15, I would actually say, just feeling that and running that in between my hands, that is on par. Actually, that I think is a bit better than these Hot Wheels models. The Hot Wheels are a little bit stiff, and part of that to that weightiness, but I think it's because they are a much heavier make, whereas this Mini GT is a little bit lighter because it's more to a 1/64 size, and I think that has actually improved the playability. So in terms of playability, I'm going to give the Mini GT 5 out of 5 full points for that, and the Tarmac Works will settle down at 4 out of 5. So just the last thing that we look at when we're looking at which premium diecast manufacturer that you guys should collect and which castings that you should pick up, we look at the desirability, or as we like to call it at Premium Diecast, the froth factor of the castings. So we'll look at the Hot Wheels Premium at first. Look, in terms of Hot Wheels Premium, I do think that this is as good as it gets. We've got side mirrors. I mean, HKS livery for this particular one. I mean, the red and yellow wheels are really cool as well. So look, I would say this is quite a desirable casting, and also I like Nissans, I like the JDM models, and I like Silvias. So yes, I would definitely collect this. That's why I own it. And so I would consider this froth. But then I think we're looking at another next bit of level. Actually, let's have a look here. Sorry, just while I picked that up, I've actually noticed, got to give a point for detail to Hot Wheels Premium, that there is a little bit, is it a bit of windscreen wiper there? That might be. Let's have a look at the other one. Oh, it's very faint, but it is there, and then we've got the water jets there, so I've got to give them that. So, well done, Hot Wheels, on that one. There we go. More to the case that this Hot Wheels Premium is a frothy Hot Wheels Premium when it comes to Hot Wheels Premiums. But then I do think it is the next level when we're looking at the Tarmac Works model. I mean, this S14, I do love the shape of the S14 Silvia. I had a mate who had an S14 Silvia when we were quite young, many years ago. And I think we even laughed at him because he had a Silvia and not a Skyline. Or gee, I'd really go back on that now. But yeah, this S14, I mean, it looks amazing. Just the shape of it is incredible. I do like the tail lights and just the design of that. That is just a really cool looking car. And let us know what you think. Do you think the S14 is froth? I do. I like that bumper bar. So I'm going to call that's mega froth, that casting. I think it's really good. It's definitely worth adding to the collection. Tarmac Works. I mean, great attention to detail. Good, decent durability. Great playability. That is definitely one to add. And then just looking at the Mini GT, if the Tarmac Works was mega froth, this is ultra froth. I think that's the first time I've ever ranked a casting ultra frothy when looking at a review. I mean, just the level of detail, the attention to detail here is amazing. That undercarriage is just next level. Look at that. And the durability, the build quality is there, the playability. As I said, it is more playable. It has better playability than the Hot Wheels Premiums. This is a car that you need to have in your collection. I highly recommended the S15 Rocket Bunny from Mini GT. This one's in black. I know there's one in lime green. I think there's one in yellow as well, and there might even be a red one. If you can get your hands on one of these, I would. This is a great casting. Fun to play with. Awesome level of detail. And those tail lights are also inserted perspex. I mean, that is a fantastic casting. In terms of a head-to-head, I think it was very close. From the Tarmac Works model to the Mini GT. And look, the Hot Wheels Premium, as I've touched on, they're actually a good casting for Hot Wheels. Both, yes, the cars are different. Which one is better than the other? I do have to say, in this instance, the Mini GT is better. But I would definitely have that Tarmac Works Silvia in my collection because it is just an awesome casting. I mean, just look at that there. That looks better than most Skylines. So my mate that had a Silvia and we laughed at him because it wasn't a Skyline, I take it back. I'd probably pick the Silvia in this day and age over the Skyline. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you guys are awesome. All the likes and the subscribes really help the channel to make more content like this, and it's really appreciated. Let us know in the comments what you think of these castings. Is the Hot Wheels Premium actually a good casting? Let me know what you think about the Silvias. Are they better than Skylines? Until next time, bye-bye.